Hey everybody, Joe here, PapaCon51 for those of you who know me from my eBay store. Um, just branching out a little bit more with some of the videos I'm making here. I will be uploading these to YouTube as I can. I have to wait till they kind of save into my Google Cloud. I'm going to try to make a couple shorter ones, but they're still going to be more along the lines of the educational, informational aspect that I kind of recently started to do. Because I feel like a lot of, especially some of the newer collectors, would have a little bit more of a background with the products and everything. And again, these are going to range from all different years. It's not just going to be the more recent stuff, 2018, 19, 2017, 16. It's going to be stuff kind of from all over the place, but not like really anything past like 2000. I'm literally just going to be dealing with cards that are maybe, no older than 14 or so years old. So, and of course, a good amount of those are going to be much more the newer ones as well. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try to keep these videos again a little shorter. I don't want to really necessarily hit that 10-minute mark, so I'll kind of like watch my time if I can. But I'm basically going to be just at this point, instead of focusing on how I did my first video on specific sets, I'm going to still be doing those for like the bigger sets, like the Contenders autographs and Prism draft picks, when certain sets have like a lot of different variations and whatnot. And just general information to kind of like make collectors and buyers aware of things to look for. I'm going to be doing smaller snippets like this video, where I'm going to be doing just individual cards that I happen to have in my collection, and whether at some point I'm going to sell them or whatever, but I currently have them, and I'm just going to literally be holding them up here. And they're already, they're already opened, they're already in sleeves, all that kind of stuff. But I'm basically just going to be showing you the style of cards, what year they're from, what to look for on the cards, and stuff like that. So I'm going to be going over randomly as well some terminology pieces also, because I noticed that there's a lot of times people from other videos I've seen are really like unsure like what to call something, or if they see it labeled by like a sticker or something, they don't really know what it means. And it's not that it, like irritates me, of course, or anything like that, but I just feel like I've seen enough of those videos to where I feel like there should be someone in the sports card hobby, and I have a big passion for this stuff to where I like detail and I like to definitely know what I'm getting. So I feel like I need other people to know that as well. Or I would like to have other people know that as well. So, I can, of course, only really do my part. I do know a lot of stuff about the sports card hobby in regards to football cards. I do a little bit of basketball. I do some baseball, but there's just way too many players in my mind for baseball. And basketball just really doesn't honestly hold that much value to me, aside from if you got Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Michael Jordan, or cards from the 70s or the 80s with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird on them. So I don't really do a lot of basketball cards necessarily. LeBron James, how could I forget him? But again, most of it's going to be football. I'm already at 3 minutes here now, so I'm going to start doing my snippet on this portion. So as you can see, I just kind of have a little bit of a layout here of cards. I'm just going to be randomly pulling off these stacks, and I'm just going to go over them with you. So to get started, this is 2017 Tom Brady. I'll hold it a little closer for you guys to be able to see a little bit better. Certified cuts. So it's again, it's 2017, so these are going to be all Panini cards. Anything after 2016 basically is all Panini, aside from the college stuff. That would be like the Leaf and Sage cards. Panini has the exclusive license in the NFL to do cards to the point where they can show players in their uniforms with all the emblems and insignia, as they call it. So this is from the 2017 set. It has a bronze finish to it, just based on the standard colors here. This is a base card, though. I don't really think this is considered a high-end set necessarily. It is just a little bit more on the expensive side now because of the chance of getting a Pat Mahomes card. So that's what the base cards from 2017 look like. They have silver parallels as well, where those ones are serial numbered. I think they have a couple other colored parallels for the sets also. Going off this guy here, so this might look just like kind of like a base card, of course, if you guys are familiar with the 2009 playoff contenders, back when it was called playoff contenders. Now, of course, they're called Panini contenders. This was the 2009 season ticket, so in other words, the base card design. This is Brett Favre, as you could tell, in his Vikings uniform, and really any card. It's kind of like a little hidden fact that I'm kind of seeing. A lot of collectors aren't really aware, especially, of course, some of the younger ones, obviously, that the 2009 cards in regards to Brett Favre, anyone that kind of shows him in his Vikings uniform is, even if it's a base card, is kind of it kind of has a little bit of some value to it. So this actually is, according to my source that I use for just general pricing, to give me an idea of what a good market value is for a card, or what like a going rate, I guess, would be. Like, so I could tell if I'm overpaying for something. I feel like I know the value generally pretty good. This is actually a $10 base card. So it's not a short print. It's not serial numbered. The cards actually go the opposite direction from how the front goes when you flip it over on the back. So one goes horizontal, one goes vertical. This one, of course, has that little, other stuff I like to hit on. Has a little bit of some wear to it. But, at this point, the card's already 10 years old. A little bit of some whitening there. You guys should be able to see that pretty well, even if the camera's zooming in and out. But this is technically him in his Vikings uniform. The 2008 cards that also came out were him in his Jets uniform, or the ones that show him in his Jets uniform. Those, of course, are a little bit more valuable depending on the set that you're talking about. This is actually one of his nicer cards, I think, from being a base card back from 2009. So, again, it's about $10 in the high column. And again, the high column goes on condition, but then the market value based on how the current sales are going for the card. So this, of course, probably would be considered a $10 base card just because of that little whitening that you got on the edges, those faint little white spots, as well as that bigger noticeable one right there. But something to keep in mind as a base card for anything from basically 2009 with Brett Favre in his Vikings uniform. Now, this guy here is a National Treasures, as you can see. A little bit thicker stock, nice and white like it should be. I'm, again, a person who is not really a fan of people when they smoke and they collect cards, and they're in an area when they're doing a lot of smoking with cards literally in the vicinity, and it's like in a room, of course. So, obviously, over time, it's going to yellow the cards. The cards will absorb the carcinogens and everything, unfortunately. This is from the 2016 set. Now, this is collegiate, or the college-based cards. So National Treasures has two versions, basically, at this point, and they started these, I believe, back in like 2015, if I remember correctly, where they kind of did pro uniforms, which are the base National Treasures like they used to be, and then they did an alternate version, which was a completely different set, and they are considered National Treasures College or Collegiate. And again, because the players are shown, this is Panini. They do have the college insignia verification right there, officially licensed product, as well as the NFL stuff, so they can actually tell you like what team they potentially played for, depending on how they want to design the cards. So this is, again, 2016. This is a hollow silver. So again, these are numbered at a 25, so this could be considered a short print to some people since it is a very low print run. Going on 8 minutes here now. I'll wrap up maybe like two more cards for you. So this is the Gold Zone from 2000, I believe. Yeah, this should be 2016. The quick way to tell, aside from how Panini kind of easily labels them on the bottoms here with the years and what set it's from, is looking at typically the stat year. Whatever the last stat year is, it should be the following year. So that's 2015 for his stats, so it should be technically a 2016 card anyway. These are considered, when you look them up in the book, and when I say the book, I mean my Beckett.com that I use for my pricing and clarification for like what cards are called and everything. These are numbered at a 99. As you can see, this does look a little bit different. It's the Gold Zone, which Score is known for doing. Their end zone, red zone, based literally on the color that the card is. This would be considered a Gold Zone, but a jumbo card. So they have like almost kind of like retail versions where they're a very similar color for each of them, but they won't be serial numbered, and they occasionally then will not be labeled here along that area. This one, when they specifically tell you Gold Zone, it will be considered a jumbo version of that since it's in big lettering. If it just says nothing and it's just a gold border, it's probably just his gold parallel. So just his gold alternate card. This one's a gold jumbo. These ones actually for the 2016 set carry a little bit more value, honestly. Like even like someone like him would probably be at least in the, from a book value standpoint, let alone, like what you can actually sell it for. Just going off the book value, these actually carry about a good $3 to $5 book value, even just for some base veteran cards. Last card I'll go over, as I ruin some of these cards here, is going to be, we'll pick this guy here. So this is good old Shady McCoy. You see, this is from the 2017 Elite football set. As you can see, it has a very similar design to the draft pick set, but these ones, of course, as you can see, show them in their pro uniform. So this is just the base Elite set. Draft picks, of course, does actually say draft picks on here, and of course, they're just going to be in their college uniforms. This one's numbered out of 99. This is a purple parallel, and that's literally all it is. There's no aspirations for this card necessarily. It's literally just called 2017 Elite Purple. And again, these are all going to be numbered out of 99. This corner right above the name here on these cards is going to be where the serial stamp will be for all these cards from these sets for the 2017 year. So, but again, we flip that over. It looks very, very similar to the draft picks backside. It's just down here, of course, it only says Elite rather than Elite draft picks. So keep that in mind. Basically the same set. It's just one shows them in their college, one shows them in their pro. So I'll end there for right now. I'll pick up on another video shortly, and I'll get them to YouTube when I can. Thanks, guys.